Hey guys, and welcome to the 7th Godsend progress report. We have a lot to get through today, but to start, we have a new logo and a couple new character renders on screen. Those will be coming up shortly, but a ton of other cool stuff to look at today, too much to just mention right now. But we do have a Discord server where there's weekly updates instead of the more spread out updates we have in these progress reports. We'd love to have you over there, so feel free to join with the link down in the description. Anyways, let's jump right into all the cool new changes. Alright, to get started, we have some big changes in the overworld or non-battle area. As you can see, I have a name tag and a portrait now that's associated with my character. This will change depending on which character you use, and you can see there is proper cloth physics now, so the cloth around my waist is not moving really strangely. I even have a sword attached to my back. Now you can also see here there are click effects now to denote where you're going. I'll probably change the color in a future update, but for now it's just proof of concept. And finally we have a NPC who's going to be randomly patrolling the area. And if you get within a close enough distance, they'll charge right at you and chase you down until you leave their aggro radius, then they'll just leave you alone. Alright, before we get into the really cool stuff, we do now have an options menu, finally. It has all the options that you'd expect: graphics quality, screen mode, what resolution, what frame rate, VSync, all that kind of stuff. There are sound sliders for pretty much every type of sound you could get in the game. I tried to make them as customizable as possible so that you can, if some kind of sound annoys you, like for example the area music or the UI sounds, you could turn those off and not have to deal with them. But really, it's mostly just standard stuff. You can turn off nameplates, damage pop-ups. As you can see, if I turn off nameplates here, they're just not going to show up anymore, pretty much as you would expect. We have screen shake, intensity, flashing, auto sprint. That one I know a lot of people are going to want to turn on, so I'll probably make it more prevalent in the future. But otherwise, the other stuff is placeholder. But let's get into the cool stuff. Alright, and next we have some new characters. As you can see, I'm playing the mage here with her outfit, and her weapon, her portrait's up in the top left. She's all set up. And as well, we have the archer. So once again, she's got some hair physics too, her weapon, outfit, portrait, everything. Now let's get into the really cool part, how we can change them in the inventory. Alright, so now applying all this, looking into the inventory, you can see we have a new character preview here that's just going to show any changes you make to your character. We have new equipment pieces as well that align with what the character should be wearing. And we can switch to their descriptions, which can be a little more detailed now by pressing Control, just so I can write those a bit longer. Here's the cool part: if I take off the equipment, it's going to reflect on the character's body. And you can put it back on, you can take off the weapon, do all that. It'll reflect on the stats as well. Those will be accurately reflected generally. We can also equip other classes' armor, and that'll apply to the battle and to the overworld. So you can take that on. We can put on the archer's equipment here. And it all just works nice and fine. So this is going to be opening up a lot of build diversity. You can play your character how you want to play it and make them look how you want to make them look. A lot of options here, especially when it comes to the stats of all this gear. You can't, however, equip weapons or sometimes armor that don't apply to your class, so there are a few restrictions. But anyway, let's take a look at what the new battles are like. Alright, so before we take a look at the new battle mechanics, let's look at the new battle UI. So as you can see, the grids are a lot different, and there's a whole lot of bars and new stuff up there. Let's go through it one by one. We have these grid tiles. They existed before, but now they've been given visuals, especially when moving. They're cooldowns on your defensive options now. Essentially just more reactive things. Up there is the stagger bar. So before that was invisible. Now if you're fighting a boss, I've just made it visible. Simple enough. When we get this bar down to 0, the boss will stagger and it'll play a little animation and then slowly start chugging back up. Otherwise, the visuals are just add-ons to everything else. Let's get into mechanics. So getting into new mechanics and skills, we first have auto attacks. Right there is one. If you do not make any inputs, no skill inputs, no movement inputs, not anything like that, then your character will just do an automatic, very basic attack. You can combo these in with regular skills if you want to circumvent a little bit of your charge time. Every new character has one, and let's test out the rest while the enemy is fighting back. Getting into the mage next, she can block with her staff, that's the thing I've chosen here, and her auto attack is just a simple fireball. We can use a lightning bolt as our main skill as well. It comes out fast and does a good amount of damage. We can alternate between blocking if we so choose. This is just the defensive option I've chosen for her, but you could choose block, dodge, or parry if you wanted to. And finally we have the archer. Her skills are pretty similar. First one is just a basic quick arrow strike, and the usable skill is a much more powerful arrow strike that sends a little bit of a shockwave out. I've given her a dodge. We can't use our dodge on the knight's regular hits, but when she charges up a more powerful skill and tries to overhead slam us, then we use our dodge to get out of the way. Take a look. Right here. We can mix in some arrow strikes after that, and hopefully break her posture. And that's the skills of all three of the classes, the most basic ones. Alright, now let's just check it out, start to finish. First, I'll change out my armor, just to increase my dodge modifier down there, and I'll change my defense to dodge, because why not? I'm going to be going up against another mage, even though it doesn't look like that right now. Once I get into the battle, here we go. So, to save some time, I'll cast my lightning bolts with the auto attacks, just to combo those two together, and then I'll try to dodge her lightning strike, and immediately follow up with my own. This is just a pretty small look into the combat loop of Godsend, but with more skills and more things on the table, hopefully you can see how it would definitely start ramping up when there's, like I said, more skills, maybe more enemies, bigger bosses, more players. But anyway, that about wraps things up. Thank you guys so much for watching to the very end, I really appreciate it. And like I said before, feel free to join our Discord and watch those weekly dev blogs. Join our other socials. I'll link them in the YouTube, and hope to see you guys next time. Bye.